Hello everyone, for my second video, probably for the last video of the day, until later on, until I get home from work. This video is going to be special, because it's a sequel to a gem that I mentioned yesterday. And ladies and gentlemen, that gem was Halloween. They came out in '78. Now, the sequel, Halloween 2, 1981. But before I go into the movie itself, please like my videos, subscribe to my channel, which is at HistoryBuff 2.0. I would greatly appreciate it if you do. It helped me go a long way. Like my videos, share my videos. If you want to comment down below, you can. And now, let's get to the film. The way this film was done, it was fantastic, because the way the first one ended, it ended on a cliffhanger. Like, where'd he go? Something like that. So, the second one shows you where all the dead bodies were, in a way, and brought them all out, and one of them was Annie. And all of her friends, and some of the boyfriends. So, at once the sheriff sees that, he's pissed. And he wants to blame Dr. Loomis. So, after Lori was brought to the hospital, and mind you, her parents were notified, but were not seen at all, to be honest. They were not seen. And she was brought to the hospital and put to sleep by the doctors, so she can rest properly. But before behold, the OG man himself, Michael Myers, comes back. He can't find his sister until he bumps into his kid by accident, which always happens in the films. Sometimes anyway, and then hears a radio that she's at the Haddonfield Hospital. So he shows up there. The way he shows up there is creepy as hell and real fun about it. So, the way he does it, he basically makes noise, and the guard goes down in that one room area where all the tools are. I believe his name was Mr. Brackett, if I'm correct. And the nurse was trying to get in, and because he was late for a shift. And when Michael found him and killed him, it was not fun for him. Then he went inside the hospital, except killing him in his own-fashioned way, per usual. As we all know, Michael Myers. And then, again, there were some sex scenes, but somewhat less in this, in a way, which is a good thing, because we don't need a lot of sex in these horror films. Just some, just enough to bring the people's attention, not the whole film. Anyway, after that, basically, he kept killing people one by one. He killed the doctor. I guess Lori's doctor when, I guess when he saw a scalpel and had it in his eyeball. Killed a nurse with the hot tub, I guess, for the patients. I don't know. For the patients, and he put it all the way up that high, the high temperature, and put her face in it. And she died by that, and I believe his name was Buddy. He got choked out, until he died just like that, and killed everyone in the hospital. Again, not going into details over a lot of things. So, and when a push comes to shove, at the end of the day here, Michael finds Lori, of course, but she outsmarted Michael here, because she knew he was gonna come back, and she was right. So he went into a room and tried to finish her job and stab her, but she wasn't there. Let me backtrack on something here that I skipped over here. So, Dr. Loomis was called back to Haddonfield and found out about a secret that Lori was Michael's sister. But before that, his superiors called him back to Haddonfield and didn't like what he was doing and poking around in their business, in that secret. So that person, the nurse or the person from the state, showed him the file, and then he was shocked and amazed. He did not even know that Lori was Michael's sister. So after that, he threatened the taxi driver to go back to the hospital. And when they got to the hospital, Dr. Loomis and Lori met in a way, and he told the state secretary, I believe, to call the police. And the taxis, in the taxis. So after that was said and done, Michael was knocked out. Again, not dead. Keep that in mind, since he was immortal at this point. Then, simply after that, he told the taxi driver to not go near him, and he did anyway. A typical movie trope. Same thing for Chucky, same thing. And when he got close to Michael, he slit his throat with that nursing tool I mentioned earlier. And when push comes to shove, the way it ended, this should have ended the franchise, to be honest, but they wanted to push it since the first two were classics. The way this one ended, basically, Michael looked like his doctor, Dr. Loomis, sacrificed himself. But before that, Lori shot a gun, the first time in her life, mind you, into Michael's eye. So he is blind as a bat. He had no eye sockets, looked like that. So he was blind as a bat. And for the nurses, nurse for surgery was doing this, and told Lori to get out of that room where the hydrogen pumps were. And the gas. So the only way to kill him was for the explosion. And once that happened, you seen him walk out all fiery like, and then collapsed. And we don't know if that's the end of Michael Myers. And before behold, it wasn't. It should have ended with that. This franchise should have ended right here. But it didn't. And that's where the movie's messed up. 3 didn't have Michael Myers. 4 didn't. 4, 5, 6. It was a mess, to be honest. I'll talk about this later if you guys want me to. But at the end of the day, this film did a fantastic job. And the plot was fantastic. Actors killed it. The director for this film did a fantastic job. And thankfully, they made a reboot that avoided all those messes and started from scratch after the first film, the original film, stuff like that. And I'll talk about that if you want me to. So I'm gonna simply end it with this. If you like the first original film in 79, I believe in 79, you'll like this one. If you're a true horror fan, you'll enjoy this. And everything made sense. So, if you want to see this film, if you haven't, go see it. If you have seen it, pass it down to your kids once they're older. And so they can pass it down to their kids, like a family legacy thing. Stuff like that. So, I'll end it simply with this. If you want to see old horror films, these two films are a good start. And not these woke films today or bad horror films. They aren't good as much. So start from the OG films that made this genre great. That's how I want to put it. So again, I'll end it here. Thank you all for supporting me. I would greatly appreciate it. Share my content, like my videos, comment down below. And please subscribe. And my channel is at History of 2.0. It would help me out a lot if you do, and I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you all for watching. I will make a video some point tomorrow when I get home from work. So, again, thank you all again. May God bless you all, and have a blessed day.